Get ready, folks. Massive price increases are coming, and they're coming fast as soon as this week. Donald Trump's tariffs have officially taken effect across the world, and 30% tariff on China will impact the price of goods that are coming into the United States of America. And a number of companies have announced that they will be raising prices. Some have already started to become raising prices, others will start this week. Let's do a quick rundown of all the companies that are going to be raising costs and how quickly they're going to be doing so. Walmart will be raising prices on a whole host of its goods by the end of this month. So, this week, in the last week of May, you are going to start seeing prices following Memorial Day creep up within Walmart shelves. According to Walmart's CEO, they expect another possible price hike as soon as June. So, you're going to get two waves of price hikes at Walmart. Now, Donald Trump told Walmart to, quote, eat the tariffs, but Walmart is not really budging. Mattel, which is a toy company, produces a bunch of toys, says that it will be increasing prices as well this month. A number of toys coming in from China are subject to this 30% tariff that Donald Trump imposed on the country. There are no exemptions for toys, so expect children to receive less toys in the United States of America because prices are going to go up. Now, before I continue, a lot of folks asked how you can support my work. The easiest way to do so, click the button below, become a paid subscriber today to my Substack, or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron, Aaron-Parnas, Parnas. Best Buy is warning that its prices will have to go up very soon as well on a number of electronics because vendors will pass tariff costs on to retailers, leading to higher consumer costs. Things like Nintendo Switch accessories, Sony products, and others will have prices rise because of these shifting market conditions. Shein and Temu have already raised their prices, but additional price increases are on the horizon. Why? Because Shein and Temu import a number of cheap product under the quote unquote de minimis exemption that previously exempted tariffs on goods under a certain price. I believe it was $800. Well, Donald Trump actually revoked that de minimis exemption, and now Shein and Temu are going to have to raise prices fast. They've already begun doing so on a number of things like patio chairs, bathing suits, etc., and it's only going to increase. Car prices are also going up. The price of a Ford, which is manufactured here in the United States of America, is expected to rise 1.5% in the second half of 2025. Subaru will raise prices in the United States as well to offset rising costs, though the company did not say by how much. Procter & Gamble said that it's considering raising prices in certain markets and product categories, things like anything from like toothpaste to other things that Procter & Gamble produces. Things like, in addition, Stanley Black & Decker has announced that it will have to raise prices soon because of the changing market conditions. And finally, Adidas and Nike have already begun raising prices, and if they haven't, they will as soon as this week on footwear, shoes, things like that, clothing. All of this stuff is coming in from China. All of it is subject to this 30% tariff from the United States government. And so expect prices to increase and expect them to go up fast. Now, in addition, Donald Trump recently held his meme coin dinner at the Trump National Golf Club in Washington, D.C., or right outside of Washington, D.C. in Virginia. And attendees who purchased the most amount of, it was about the top 220 holders of Donald Trump's meme coin, where they're not happy. They left actually very upset, according to reports. Why? Because the food sucked. They said that they were served Walmart steaks. They got very limited, if any, time with Donald Trump. They said that his speech was complete bullshit. They weren't able to meet with Elon Musk, and they left very unhappy. Now, remember, there are a lot of ethical concerns over this dinner. People within the White House and in Congress are not happy that Donald Trump hosted this dinner for meme coin owners, meme coin holders. Speaker Mike Johnson today was asked about it on CNN on Jake Tapper's show and literally deflected. He tried to say that he knew nothing about it, that he was too busy essentially trying to pass the big, beautiful bill to really realize what was happening at the Trump National Golf Club. And when pressed, well, if Joe Biden or a Democrat did this, you would be upset. He kind of just tried to deflect and move on. But there are a lot of ethical concerns here, and this ethical concern is only going to start continuing to grow. The Trump administration has also changed the way it's going to begin doing ICE enforcement activities at courthouses. So it's expediting removal processes by essentially, if individuals have court cases within the immigration system, they're trying to go through it lawfully, right? They're going to start dismissing those court cases so that individuals can be deported faster. Traditionally, when you're seeking asylum in the United States or you're applying to go through the immigration court system, it could take several years, right? Because there's a major backlog within the immigration court system. And well, to expedite essentially deportations, to move these people through the court system faster, they're they're showing up to the court hearing, dismissing any immigration case against the migrant, and just taking them into custody right then and there. So if you know someone who has an immigration court proceeding, who has an upcoming hearing, just be aware that this could happen to them next. Today, Mike Johnson was asked on CNN whether or not the current legislative package includes any cuts to Medicaid. He responded by saying that some people in his own district, in every district, are receiving benefits that they shouldn't be, implying that any loss of coverage would likely result from correcting ineligible employments rather than cutting the program itself. But that's not what the Congressional Budget Office said. The Congressional Budget Office, which is a nonpartisan office, made clear that 13.7 million Americans would lose health care if this bill passes. That's not hyperbole, that is fact. Jimena Arias Cristobal, a teenager from Georgia who was detained by federal immigration officers after local traffic charges that were later dropped, has officially been released from custody. Journalists covering the United States military have raised serious concerns over new restrictions imposed by Pete Hegseth, calling them direct attacks on press freedom. And finally, Mexican singer Julian Alvarez was forced to cancel a major concert in Texas after the Trump administration revoked his visa without explanation. Folks, that's all the news right now. If you want to support my work, click the button below, become a paid subscriber to my Substack, or consider sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, and I'll see you this evening.